Hello, welcome back to our English for Business class, Chapter 4 Telephone Calls Requests and Rejection. Back to this lecture, we are going to learn about how telephone calls are carried out, do's and don'ts, requests and rejections, and the spelling code for the telephone calls. So, as the past lecture, we already learned about how we write a business letter, how we write a business papers, for example, emails, for example, the business resumes, cover letters, and the business letter memorandum. So this one is a kind of practical lecture, okay? So for this one, you don't have any assignments left for me. We are going to learn a practical lecture. So let's get started. Firstly, a walkthrough. I am going to tell you what are telephone calls do's and don'ts. Do's and don'ts are what is actually practiced and what are actually not practiced in the telephone calls. It is a kind of social norms, okay? So next one, case study. A case study for the telephone scenario, I will post this one, a video, YouTube video, in the Google Classroom. So please get a file there and open and watch it, okay? So for your comprehensions, please watch the video after the lectures finished and you will know how to practice your telephone calls later. Okay, so request and rejection. The request is the process where the speaker asks for help to the listener, and a rejection is the way to say no, way to say way to do the ignorant to the requesting, okay, to the request. So you know how to do the proper rejection. Okay, next one, spelling code for telephoning. A spelling code for telephoning, it is very essential to do the telephones, because in order for you to spell out your name, spell out the important words, you will need to spell out with the codes, because there are many different letters, there are many different words which you need to spell out, because you may listen, you may hear a very similar voice, a very similar sound to it. For example, P or B, P, P for Peter, or B for Bravo. T for Tango, or P for Peter, or you would know how to spell out the words in different way from your current life. Okay. Firstly, the telephone calls. It is the major part in the daily operations in the business, which is practiced daily. Okay, so there are business which is do the telephone calls to the vendors, to the associates, to the clients or customers. This is very important how you do the telephone calls properly. Okay, and the importance of telephone calls is this word, phone etiquette. Phones etiquette. What is etiquette? Etiquette means manners and social norms. What is manners and social norms? Social norms is not the law. Social norms is not the law. For example, a guy doing sexual assaults. Sexual assaults mean ข่มขืน doing social assaults to a woman, to a lady. That guy would receive the They would receive what? They would receive, yes, they would receive tort, okay, from the law. But in the social norms, you are not going to deal with the law. The social norms is what people will judge you. If you do something correctly, the people will judge you. You are a good guy. But if you do things incorrectly, they will judge you as you are a bad guy. This is a social norms. For another example, you are eating on the dining table, you are eating, and you eat with a full mouth, okay? You eat with a full mouth, and then you start talking while you're chewing. This is a bad manners or the bad social norms. People will judge that you are a low educated person. This is just for example. Okay? So a telephone calls is two-way communications. What is two-way communications? It's involved with the sender or the speaker and the receiver, a listener, a sender and a receiver. And the things you communicate we called message. We called message. This is the mode of communications. Okay. Next, first we're going to do something we called do's and don'ts in the telephone calls. So as I'm talking through these lectures, through these 3 to 4 slides, please pay attention to my examples. So I will give example one by one, okay? So first, it is important that it is not allowed to ring more than 3 times. Second or third ring is an ideal time to pick up the telephones. For example, the telephone rang. Ring, ring, ring. You should pick up your phones at the second or third time. Why second or third time? Because if you pick up later than that, the person who calls you would wait longer. And or if you pick up the phones at the first ring, a person who calls you may feel very surprised and they might forget how and what to communicate with you. This is the manners, okay, just the manners. In the real world, from peers to peers, from friends to friends, or or the individuals to a family, we would pick up at the first calls or the 10 calls, it doesn't matter. But in the business, be sure that you take the calls, you pick up the calls at the second or third time. Okay. Second, the phone should be answered with a positive greeting such as hello, good morning, or good afternoon, etc. So, for example, someone's calling you, good evening, and you pick up and you say, hi, this is. So, this example is we called informal greeting. Informal greeting. This is from friends to friends, peers to peers, or a person to a family. Okay, so this is a not business practice. A way you pick up a phones, you need to answer hello, or good morning, or good afternoon. Okay, remember hello, good morning, good afternoon. Okay, third example, third rules, third do. Following the greeting, a person who answers the phone should give his or her name and the name of the business or the organization, said company, that is being contacted. Okay. For example, pick up the phone. Hello, this is Charlie from ABC company. This is for example. Another example. Good evening. Good evening. Good morning. ABC company. This is Charlie speaking. This is the ideal example. Okay, next one. Remember to put a smile. To put a smile before placing or answering a phone call. Why? Smiling affects your tone of voice. It affects your mood. It affects your feelings. So, in order to answer in the friendly tones or in the pleasant tone, you need to put on a smile. Hello, good morning. This is Charlie speaking. Okay, for example, or good morning, ABC Company. This is Charlie speaking. Okay, if you do it a wrong way, you are very, very angry from someone else. Hello, ABC Company. This is Charlie speaking. So pick up the tone of voice. Is the first one or the second one better? First or second? First one is better. Okay. Next rule. Speak in a clear tone using your voice that is neither too loud nor too low. Words should be clear and said slow enough that people are able to understand what is being said to them. So, just for short, speak in a clear voice and volume. Okay, so just just like what I'm teaching you now, I am using my words, my volume good enough for you to hear, for you to understand. Okay, never speak too low. Never speak too low like this, then you won't recognize a word. Okay, but if you speak too loud, if you speak so loud volume, and the persons who hear you might be very, very surprised like this. Okay, speak in a speak in a moderate volume. Okay, next one. If someone must be put on hold, what is put on hold? Put on hold means you are calling someone, you are calling someone, and you have something to do rather to the calls, or you have someone who are going to speak with. Okay, you need to put on hold. Okay, by asking the permissions first. For example, yes, Mr. Brown. Oh, excuse me. Can I put you on hold, please, for about 5 minutes? Or, for example, for about 1 minute, please. This is a permission. Okay. Remember to ask for permission first. So, next one. When taking them of hold, be sure to thank the caller to show that that time is respected. So, I already put the Mr. Brown on hold and I come back. I'm sorry, Mr. Brown, and thank you for your time. Okay, I'm sorry, Mr. Brown, and thank you for your time. Okay, so you are respecting someone else. Okay, next one. When a caller is speaking, listen to what he or she has to say without interruptions. For example, if you're talking, for example, if you are talking to another person and they always interrupt you, they always come in between your conversations, what will you feel? What would you feel? You feel exhausted, yeah? You feel not comfortable enough to talk, okay? This is a very strict rule. Never interrupt someone when they are talking. Next one, when you place a call, always state his or her name before asking for the person that the call is for, okay? Again, when placing a call, always state his or her name before asking for person that the call is for. For example, for example, you are calling to you are calling to someone's someone else, and and you want to talk to Mr. Brown, but instead Mrs. Brown is picking up the calls. Okay, so you say, hello, Mrs. Brown. Hello, Mrs. Brown. May I talk to, or may I have a line on Mr. Brown, please? This is for example. Okay, so we are coming to don'ts. Okay, don'ts for telephones calling. At first, if a person is answering the telephones, okay, he or she should never answer on the first ring. Callers do not expect this and will be too surprised for them. As I told you in the very first rules of picking up at the second or third calls, the 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 callers might be surprised for them. Okay. Second, don't answer the phones when eating, chewing, or drinking. If a person has anything in his or her mouth, it should be swallowed or removed before picking up the phones to either answer it or place a call. Meaning, never chew, never eat, never drink with your full mouth. Be sure to swallow it or place them later. Okay? So, it is very bad manners. Okay? If I answer the phones, hello, I'm chewing. Sorry, I'm. Will you understand my words? No, never. Okay. If you must leave the phone, leave the phone. Never leave the line open. Never leave the line open, meaning you are putting the phones on hold. Okay. You're leaving the phones on hold, pressing a hold button. Okay. You should put the silent in your microphones. Okay. So press on hold or silence the microphones for about 45 seconds. Every 45 seconds, be sure to come back and tell the tell the listener that you are going to be back again or you have came back. Okay? So, for example, I already put Mr. Brown on hold. I'm sorry and thank you for your time, Mr. Brown. And every 45 seconds, yeah? And Mr. Brown, I'm so sorry. I need to be back about 45 seconds again later. Please wait. For example, never say the words, I don't know. Never say these words, I don't know. The ideal response to the question where there is not a definite answer is to say, I'll check that one for you. I'll check that on for you. Or I'll check on that for you. Okay? So be sure that you are saying, I'll check something on for someone. If you don't know the information, never says I don't know. I don't know is the rejections. Is the rejection that you are not helping them. Okay. Try to put on I'll check that on for you phrase. Okay. Never use slangs or swear words. It is against the federal law. Okay? Never use slangs. Slangs means what? Slangs means a word which used in the small group. For example, Lu language, ภาษาลู or the slangs which is um, in Thai we have กินเตี๋ยวกันเตี๋ยว ตี๋ยว means what? A noodle. So เตี๋ยว can mean slangs. Swear words. What are swear words? Swear words means a bad words. Okay. You always saying them. I know. To friends. Okay. So never do swear words or slangs in the telephone calls. Importantly, the business calls. Okay. Next one. It is never acceptable to argue with a caller. Never argue with the caller. So try to be friendly. Okay. Try to be friendly. That's it. Do not transfer a call without informing a person on the phones and asking permission to do so. Okay, from the last rules, from Do's rule. Before you put on hold or you are going to transfer a call, do a permission asking. Okay. When ending a phone call, do not hang up phones without positive closure, such as "Thank you for calling" or "Have a good day." Okay. "Thank you for calling" or "Have a good day" is the ideal closing. For example, I already talked to Mr. Brown and we are going to hang up. Okay. Yes, Mr. Brown. So, thank you for calling and have a good day. This is for example. So, the case study, okay, I'm gonna post it in the classroom, in the Google Classroom. So, the YouTube videos you are going to watch is the titles as "When the Phone Rings" from Cantola Training Solutions. So try to watch it and try to figure out the right and wrong way how to do the telephone calling, how to handle it. Okay, so this is a case study. You don't need to do some assignments to me, but try to listen and analyze it. Okay, next, requests and rejections. Requests and rejections in the telephone calls may be easy and may be hard. Okay, so requesting. If you want, if you want to request someone to speak to someone else, okay, if you call to someone and you want to speak to someone else, you may you may ask, "Hello, may I speak to someone, please?" "Hello, may I speak to someone, please?" For example, "May I speak to Mr. Brown, please?" Or you could say, "Could you please do something for me?" For example, "Could you please put on Mr. Brown lines, please?" Or "Could you please transfer the line to Mr. Robert for me?" Okay, this is just for the example. So our ideal words is please and excuse me. So in requesting, one holy words is please. Okay, one holy words. You say please. Or excuse me. Okay. Never say "I want to talk to Mr. Robert" or "get Mr. Robert for me." This is a kind of demanding or commanding. Okay. In the rejections, how would you reject someone properly? Okay. From the word I don't know, what would you say? From the last lecture, from the last slides. I'll check that for you. I'll check that for you. Okay? How would you say no sorry? How would you say no sorry? Okay? You would say I'm afraid that. I'm afraid that. Okay? In Thai we say ผมเกรงว่าดิฉันเกรงว่า so we say I'm afraid that. Okay? Next one. If you would like to say that someone is not here, you could say he or she is out for business. Would you like to leave someone message for him? Would you like to leave some message for him or for her? This is a very, very good example because if she or he is out of business, so one thing you can do or help the caller is that you ask them whether they have some notes to put on or they have some notes to leave. Okay? This is a very simple request and rejection. Next one, alphabet spelling code. So, in order to spell out your name, in order to spell out a word or different the difficult words to the listener, you need to use a proper spelling code, which is NATO phonetic alphabet or NATO phonetic alphabet. It is the code which they use for aircraft, for the military. Okay, so it is common use in international dialing prefix or IDD. Don't ask me what is IDD, but I would say it is the international dialing prefix. Okay, so you might need to spell out informations over the phones for first accuracy. You need to spell out an accurate letter to the listener. As I said, P or T is similar in terms of sound. Okay, for difficult words, for example, some words, let's say abracadabra, and a person will hear, oh my God, what are you saying? So you might spell out abracadabra words to them. Next one, for foreign words and locations. If you're talking to someone's different nationality to you and talking in the distance calling, for example, you are in Thailand, a person you call to is in Japan. If you say, I am living in Talingshan, I am living in Talingshan, they cannot know what is Talingshan or how to spell out Talingshan. So you need to spell Talingshan to them. Okay. For scientific or technical terms, terms which is based in the science terms, technical terms, you need to spell out to them. Okay. For words which aren't commonly understood, okay, for confirming a spelling, okay, if you spell out without using a code, you may need to use this code also. When a pronunciation is noticeably different, for example, Oakland and Auckland. Oakland and Auckland. This is very different words to each other. Oakland and Auckland is different place, different city. Okay, when names can be spelled more than one way. For example, Christina and Christina. Christina and Christina. This is different. Stephen and Stephen. Stephen and Stephen. Okay. When English letters have similar sounds, for example, B and T, P and T, M and N. These are very, very similar sounds when you hear in the telephones. Okay, if there are any spaces, a person will say space. Okay, for example, a word and there are space between and a word, they would say, they would spell out letters and say space. It means you don't have to write a word space, but you need to leave a space. All right. So begin from A to Z. Okay, from A to Z. You say A for alpha. Repeat after me right now. Repeat after me. Alpha. A for alpha. Bravo. B for Bravo. Charlie. C for Charlie. Delta. D for Delta. Echo. E for Echo. Foxtrot. F for Foxtrot. Golf. G for Golf. Hotel. H for Hotel. India. I for India. Juliet. J for Juliet. Kilo. K for Kilo. Lima. L for Lima. Mike. M for Mike. November. N for November. Oscar. O for Oscar. Papa. P for Papa. Quebec, Q for Quebec. Romeo, R for Romeo. Sierra, S for Sierra. Tango, T for Tango. Uniform, U for uniform. Victor, V for Victor. Whiskey, W for whiskey. X-ray, X for X-ray. Yankee, Y for Yankee. Zulu, Z or Z for Zulu. So these are the abbreviations, letter and the code. So you may spell out a word without telling them the letter. For example, my name. I would spell out for you Charlie, Hotel, Alpha, Romeo, Lima, India, Echo. So you would write the letter with the initial letter for each word as the letter. This is for example. So practice and do these words. Okay. How do you spell Voldemort? How would you spell Voldemort? Yeah, Victor and O for, what is O for? O is for Oscar, okay? So, Victor, Oscar, Lima, Delta, Echo, M is for Mike, okay? M is for Mike. Oscar, Romeo, Tango. So it's Voldemort, okay? Voldemort. Next one. Try to write out these words. Bravo, Lima, Alpha, Charlie, Kilo, space, Echo, Yankee, Echo, space. Papa, Echo, Alpha, Sierra. It makes what? Black eyed peas. Okay, black eyed peas. Next words. Juliet, Alpha, Charlie, Kilo, space, Oscar, space, Lima, Alpha, November, Tango, Echo, Romeo, November. So that makes what? Jack-o'-lantern. Next words. Sierra, Whiskey, Alpha, Romeo, Oscar, Victor, Sierra, Kilo, India. What is that word? Swarovski. All right. Next word. This is a place, a city in South Korea. Papa, Yankee, Echo, Oscar, November, Golf, Charlie, Hotel, Alpha, November, Golf. What is that word? Pyeongchang, a city in South Korea, Pyeongchang. Next word. A city in the world also. A city in the world. Romeo, India, Oscar, space. Delta, Echo, space. Juliet, Alpha, November, Echo, India, Romeo, Oscar. What's that word? Rio de Janeiro. Yes, Rio de Janeiro. Lastly, last words. Papa, Oscar, Tango, India, Sierra, Alpha, Romeo, November, Papa, India, Tango, Tango, Alpha, Yankee, Alpha, Kilo, Oscar, Romeo, November, space, Sierra, Charlie, Hotel, Oscar, Oscar, Lima. What's that word? Yes, you all know. โพธิสารพิทยากร School. And that's the end for today. So keep practicing. Try to read the code for that spelling and try to write out the names by yourself. Okay, so I am going to end this chapter at this point, and feel free to ask me for feedback or ask me any questions. So this lecture is just for 40 minutes. I'll give you some time to relax and continue your next lecture soon. Okay, so and for today, thank you for listening and see you next lecture, students. Bye.